Chapter 16. Alternatives to the Paleolithic Diet. Welcome to our channel. Food as medicine. You are what you eat. When does a low-carb diet become anything other than a low-carb diet? When a different name refers to it. And, as low-carb living becomes increasingly popular as a means of purported weight loss and health benefits, a growing number of people are turning to the diet in all of its forms. According to the nutritionist and licensed dietitian Kelly Schmidt of Columbus, Ohio, most Americans consume more than 200 grams of carbohydrates per day. Therefore, dipping below 200 grams per day will result in a lower carb diet in some form, she explains. Indeed, according to the Mayo Clinic, carbohydrates should account for 45 to 65% of a person's daily calorie intake on an average day. This means that a typical person consumes 900 to 1,300 calories from carbohydrates per day, or 225 to 325 grams of carbohydrates per day, on a 2,000 calorie diet. It appears that the low-carb trend isn't going away anytime soon, and some research, such as a January 2020 article in Stat Pearls, suggests that eating this way can help people lose weight, at least in the short term. On the other hand, some researchers are concerned that it may not be safe to use as a permanent eating strategy. According to the findings of a research study published in the European Heart Journal in September 2019, people who consume the fewest carbohydrates have the highest risk of dying from cardiovascular disease, stroke, and cancer. If you're thinking about starting with a low-carb diet, these findings should be taken into consideration. And, if you're determined to begin one, be aware that there are many different types, ranging from the Ketogenic Diet to the Atkins Diet, to choose. However, the name is not the most important thing to consider. Even though you can put a label on the type of low-carb diet you want to follow, the bottom line, and one of the reasons low-carb diets are so successful, is that you should focus on eating more real food than you do not, says Schmidt. Right off the bat, be aware that many popular low-carb diets have not been thoroughly researched. Many of the so-called benefits have not been proven and may be based solely on the subjective experiences of a small number of people. As a result of these restrictions, here is a look at 12 popular low-carb diets and how they work. A fundamental low-carbohydrate diet. According to Schmidt, there is no official guideline that defines a low-carbohydrate diet. However, she explains that consuming approximately 50 to 100 grams of carbohydrates per day is an essential low-carb diet. It has been said, and it is possible to lose even more weight, it is all about consuming fewer carbohydrates than is normal for you. The best advantage of this plan is that it is entirely customizable, allowing you to finish the amount of food that best suits your needs. As a bonus, you have the freedom to choose which carbs you want to include in your diet, fruits and vegetables and dairy, whole grains and nuts, and legumes, rather than being forced to follow a strict plan that dictates what and when you should eat. A person who enjoys that freedom and does not wish to spend time counting carbs will benefit the most from this method of eating. There may be advantages to sticking to the traditional course of action. For 4 weeks, obese adults with metabolic syndrome, a cluster of risk factors, such as high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and excess belly fat, which increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes, according to the Mayo Clinic, were put on a low, moderate, or high carbohydrate diet. The results were published in June 2019 in the journal JCI Insight. Whatever their weight, those who followed a low-carb diet had lower triglycerides, higher levels of good HDL cholesterol, and lower levels of bad LDL cholesterol, whether or not they had lost weight as well. The Ketogenic Diet, also known as the Keto Diet. According to Franziska Spritzler, Rhode, CDCES, a low-carb dietitian based in Hollywood, Florida, one of the strictest ways to follow a low-carb diet is because it restricts you from eating contain less than 50 grams of carbs per day. However, some experts recommend eating less than 30 or 20 grams, depending on your individual needs. Specifically, she states that most people should keep their carbohydrate intake under 30 grams, but some physically active people can tolerate a little more. You'll also be consuming a significant amount of fat, which could account for up to 80% of your daily calories. The ketogenic diet causes your body's fuel-burning engine to shift from relying on carbohydrates for energy to burn fat for fuel. One vital advantage of this method is that you may lose substantial weight quickly, which can be highly motivating at first because you see results so quickly. In contrast, a very restrictive diet that you are eating primarily as fat sources, with a small amount of protein and some non-starchy vegetables, which makes it difficult to maintain, and it is typically intended as a short-term diet rather than a long-term shift in eating habits. According to a review published by a Canadian family physician in December 2018, keto diets result in slightly more significant weight loss when compared to a low-fat diet, the slightly greater weight loss being approximately 4.4 pounds, but these results are unlikely to last. According to the study's findings, keto dieters begin to regain their weight after about 5 months on a diet that is low in carbohydrates and high in fat. Even though this plan sounds similar to keto, it generally involves eating more carbs and less fat, so that your body is not in the fat-burning state of ketosis, as it is during the ketogenic diet. Carbohydrates may account for approximately 25% of your total calories, whereas fat accounts for more than 60%. In this case, the good news is that while the ketogenic diet is highly restrictive, making it difficult for many dieters to adhere to it, a more liberal carbohydrate allowance, 100 to 150 grams of carbs per day, is more practical. According to researchers in a June 2018 article published in the European Journal of Nutrition, the authors point out that while low-carb, high-fat diets can help people lose weight, they do not know whether they have any long-term health benefits or risks. Therefore, more research is needed. Many people follow this type of low-carb diet to improve their performance during a workout. Its proponents claim that it can teach your body to burn fat as fuel, resulting in a more sustained energy source during prolonged bouts of endurance activities. However, according to a study published in November 2015 in Sports Medicine, it is still unclear whether this diet improves performance. For athletes interested in this type of eating, the best course of action is to consult with a registered dietitian specializing in sports nutrition to determine whether or not this eating style is appropriate for you. The Atkins Diet, also known as the Atkins Protocol. When we talk about the low-carb craze, the Atkins Diet is considered to be the originator. Dr. Atkins recognized very early on that restricting carbohydrate intake while allowing unlimited protein and fat had such a significant impact on appetite and insulin levels, Spritzler explains. According to this plan, you begin with a deficient, ketogenic-like carbohydrate intake and gradually increase your carbohydrate intake by including vegetables and fruit. Spritzler points out that one common mistake is reintroducing too many carbs after a period of weight loss, leading to the conclusion that the diet isn't working. For example, it's probably not a good idea to consume any carbohydrates if you're in maintenance mode. It has been said that this diet includes pre-packaged foods and snacks, which are going to be processed foods regardless of whether they are labeled as low carbohydrate. According to Spritzler, the most effective way to follow this diet is to consume only whole foods. Compared to other diets, it may be the most effective in weight loss results, at least in the short term. According to a meta-analysis of 59 trials on various diets published in September 2014 in the Journal of the American Medical Association, people who followed the Atkins diet lost an average of 22 pounds after 6 months. For the record, the Atkins diet, which was ranked 22nd out of 40 in 2018 U.S. News & World Report Best Diets but did not rank in the 2020 edition, is not included here. This diet has an eco twist in that it emphasizes plant-based proteins and unsaturated fats while also allowing for a higher carbohydrate allowance. You will likely eliminate most animal products and saturated fats from your diet. The Atkins diet and the modified keto diet. A modified Atkins diet consists of consuming 10% of one's calories from carbohydrates, 30% from protein, and 60% from fat, as opposed to the original Atkins diet. Although most of the research on this diet has focused on its effectiveness in treating epilepsy, some people turn to this more moderate approach to weight loss. Keto refers to the state of being in ketosis. 10% carbs will not allow many people to achieve that metabolic state, so this is more of a low-carb diet for these individuals. For some, it will, says Ginger Holton, Road, spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and owner of Champagne Nutrition, a Seattle-based nutrition consulting company. It is highly recommended that you work with a registered dietitian to ensure that you eat the proper ratio of macronutrients, carbohydrates, protein, and fat, to achieve ketosis and monitor your blood ketones. Paleo diet with low carbohydrates. The caveman eating style emphasizes the consumption of fat and protein while consuming fewer carbohydrates. It has been said that just because you eliminate grains, legumes, beans, sweets, and dairy from your diet does not automatically make it low carb, as you can still consume starchy vegetables and fruits, which can add up quickly in calories. The Paleo Diet can contain a variety of carbohydrates ranging from keto to low carb to moderate carb levels, according to Spritzler. One advantage of a paleo eating plan is that it emphasizes whole, unprocessed foods. If you are used to eating a more plant-based diet, this dish may seem a little heavy on the meat. To ensure that it stays low carb, choose vegetables that are naturally lower on the carbohydrate spectrum, such as cucumbers, tomatoes, zucchini, and peppers, to name a few examples. Studies on the paleo diet have been lacking, and it is unclear how effective a low-carb variation would be. However, preliminary studies outlined in January-February 2016 review published in Australian Family Physician suggest that a paleo diet can help you lose weight, reduce belly fat, and lower blood pressure and lipid levels. According to the researchers, the diet's disadvantages are that the trials evaluating it are short-term and low quality. It's also 10% more expensive than a regular diet. It puts you at risk for calcium deficiency, they add. Whole30 is the seventh option. Whole30 is yet another diet, which bills itself as more of a program, that is not explicitly designed to be low in carbs, as is the Atkins diet. For the next 30 days, you must consume only meat, seafood, vegetables, fruits, and fats and refrain from consuming any added sugar of any kind, including alcohol, grains, legumes, and dairy. Spritzler says it can be a radical approach for someone who is used to eating the standard American diet, which follows low in fruits and vegetables while high in added sugar and fat. However, he adds that the freedom to eat as many carbs as you want may make it a poor fit for type 2 diabetes because it allows them to consume as many carbs as they want. The fact that this is intended to be a short-term challenge means that it should be challenging. Before you begin, you must assess your commitment level and then devise a plan for what you intend to do after the 30 days has expired. The Mediterranean diet, which is low in carbohydrates, Spritzler gives this one high marks for its overall health. I believe that this is the best diet to follow because it combines all of the benefits of both the Mediterranean diet and the low-carb diet. According to a study published in BMC Medicine in September 2016, there are numerous benefits to following a Mediterranean diet, including a lower risk of developing or dying from heart disease. It differs from other low-carb diets in which you will replace saturated fats with unsaturated fats, which is beneficial if you have type 2 diabetes. It puts you at higher risk for heart disease, as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, notes. If you have a personal or family history of heart disease, as the Mayo Clinic notes, or if you have a history of heart disease yourself. That means that, rather than butter, cheese, and cream, you should be consuming olive oil, fatty fish, nuts, seeds, and avocado as your primary sources of fat instead. The significant advantage of this diet is that it is exceptionally heart-friendly. However, the disadvantage is that for some people, the appeal of a low-carb diet is often the ability to consume highly palatable foods such as bacon and cheese. Research examining the benefits of a low-carb Mediterranean diet on diabetes, such as a study published in July 2014 in Diabetes Care, has advised participants to keep carbohydrates to no more than 50% of their daily calories and to get at least 30% of their calories from fat, with a focus on vegetables and whole grains as carbohydrate sources, according to the study. The Dukan diet is number 9 on the list. On this diet, you will be guided through 4 phases of instruction. To begin, you will concentrate on foods that are rich in protein. After that, you will gradually add in more carbohydrate-rich foods, such as fruit and whole grain bread, as well as an allowance of 2 celebratory meals per week. By eating foods from all food groups, supplementing with oat bran, and engaging in physical activity daily, you should be able to maintain your weight loss results during the final phase. U.S. News & World Report's 2020 rankings of the best diets generally place the Dukan diet at number 35 out of 40, which is a disappointingly low ranking. Why? Many rules must be followed, and you must consume large amounts of protein, which their panel of experts believes can be detrimental to your health. A study published in the journal Translational Andrology and Urology in September 2014 revealed that the high-protein initial phase of the diet might increase the risk of developing kidney stones as an unwelcome side effect. Because of this, the authors recommend that people who have previously suffered from kidney stones reconsider attempting this diet. The South Beach diet, also named the South Beach diet, is popular in the United States. Unlike some other low-carb diets, primarily concerned with health benefits, this one promotes itself as a solely focused diet on weight loss. According to the Mayo Clinic, while the South Beach diet emphasizes lean protein and healthy fats, it is not necessarily a low-carb diet in the traditional sense. You consume good carbs, particularly after completing the first phase. On a diet, you can choose from a variety of frozen and ready-to-eat South Beach diet meals, as well as some that you prepare yourself. They also encourage you to purchase snacks that bear the South Beach diet logo. The advantages are that they will tell you what to eat all day and that there is little cooking involved, which is excellent if you despise your kitchen. The disadvantages are that you must purchase your food through them and that the choices can become limited. Furthermore, when buying packaged foods, you are not receiving the full nutritional benefit that you would receive if you were to consume whole foods. Then there's the possibility that it's deficient in nutrients. In the past, researchers looked at several popular diet plans, including the South Beach diet, and concluded that the diet is low in calories, approximately 1,200 calories per day, and does not provide a sufficient source of 21 out of 27 essential nutrients analyzed. These nutrients included vitamin D, vitamin E, iron, magnesium, zinc, and other minerals. If you are enjoying this video, please subscribe to our channel. Subscription is totally free by pressing the subscribe button. Also, hit the notifications bell so that you will always be notified of new content on our channels. Carbohydrate cycling is number 11. According to the American Council on Exercise, carb cycling is a variation on a low-carb diet in which you alternate low-carb days, 50 to 150 grams of carbs, with high-carb days, up to 400 grams of carbs. The number of high-carb and low-carb days you have depends on the specific plan you are implementing. For example, keto cycling is a method of varying carbohydrate intake while on the ketogenic diet. According to have higher carb days helps people tolerate lower carb days while also providing them with more fuel for their workouts, which is why it is popular among athletes and certain types of training, according to Hulton. However, there is a catch that low carb days can make you feel restricted, causing you to overcompensate on higher carb days. Rather than having to worry about calculating a specific intake every single day, she prefers a more balanced daily plan, which she describes as more balanced and daily. Low carbohydrate diet. If you look around the web, then you will see that many people have taken on the challenge of a zero-carb diet, which is a diet that has received little scientific backing and consists solely of meat and fat consumption. The controversial carnivore diet, in which you eat only meat, is similar in this respect. In addition to being extremely high in saturated fat, this diet lacks fiber, which is essential for digestion and does not include any vegetables or fruit, which are necessary nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Because experts recommend consulting with your doctor even before beginning a ketogenic diet, and that this is a more severe form of the diet, you should consult with a medical professional before starting the zero-carb diet. So, eat right, eat wisely, and be happy. Here ends this video on dieting and weight loss. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our other videos in this series. Food as medicine. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Goodbye. See you again soon.